And it's time for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. And Al, this week was pretty mild to start off, but cool right now. What can we expect for the week ahead?
Well, Troy, we did see the warm weather that came in this week. That finally broke a long stretch of a below normal temperature, especially across eastern Nebraska. Looking at Omaha, they went 24 straight days with below normal temperatures. And the reason I shrugged is because as we go through this next 7-day period and look at the two major models that are used to forecast across the United States, the European and the GFS model, they're in polar opposite trends of each other as we go into even the first part of next week. So this is probably going to be a blown forecast to some extent, but we do have a couple systems that are coming down the pipeline that bear watching, especially as we get into the Thanksgiving Day travel period. One right before Thanksgiving, and then another system coming in during the weekend right after we get through Thanksgiving. And then yet some more are coming down the line. So no matter what, pay attention to the weather because this is an evolving situation and we're likely to see many changes in this forecast over the next 7 days with the potential to either see rain, snow, or nothing at all. So as we go to the upper air models, the first thing we'll draw your attention to is the trough responsible for the weather during the midweek is pushed off to the east. We're starting to see a warming trend this weekend, and it's going to be a really nice weekend across the state. Temperatures will be coolest in the northeast. Under the influence of high pressure, we'll be probably into the mid to upper 40s with 50s around the remainder of the state. Most of the precipitation well off to our east associated with that trough. As we go into Sunday, we start to see more of a zonal flow with a weak wave that moves through, nothing with the way of precipitation, but we do see a surface low development shown by the GFS in the Texas Panhandle that will start to lift moisture up into our region. But the main focus of precipitation on Sunday will be to our northwest. By Monday, this trough drives deeper into the southwest, starting to see a surface low forming in the Texas Panhandle. Cold air will start to migrate into northwestern Nebraska, touching off some light snow and accumulating snows in the mountains. The biggest question is, as we get into Tuesday and this system ejects out, will it eject eastward or northeastward? And if it ejects eastward, we're fine and dandy. If it ejects northeastward, we're going to see some precipitation across the state and we could see some accumulating snowfall. So for right now, the GFS is taking the main core of accumulating snowfalls just to our south, but again, pay attention to the weather. It could change. And on Wednesday, the trough starts to deepen according to the GFS. We have a bunch of energy circulating around this upper air trough and it will start to eject that energy out in the post-Thanksgiving Day period. So we're going to see some intense stormy activity in the Intermountain region, and the GFS really drives this trough down south. I think it might be overplaying this somewhat, but the main emphasis is going to start to eject low pressure systems at the surface. So we'll get a northwest Kansas surface low development in south central portions of North Dakota. That will start to congeal into precipitation. We could see some snowfall starting to break out as early as Thursday night, Friday morning in the northwest. And then the main activity starts to shoot out as we get into Friday into the southern plains as a deep vest of moisture starts to work toward the north. Cold high pressure to our south will start to fill in. So depending on which one beats which will determine the overall path of this, but it looks like we do have a decent shot of precipitation, at least across Kansas and points to the south. A little bit of a question here across Nebraska, but we need to pay particular attention as this system ejects out on Sunday. It's very possible we could be dealing with a winter storm across the central plains. Further out, the 8 to 14 day forecast kind of keeps that trough in place through the first full week of December, so cold conditions underneath of that upper air low. And in terms of precipitation, of course, with this system ejecting out moisture, we have a couple more systems to deal with through the first week of December, and then some very cold air looks like it's going to filter in the second full week of December.